In a forgotten corner of the Russian tundra lies a rusted metal cap, no wider than a dinner plate, bolted into a slab of crumbling concrete. It's unassuming and easily missed, surrounded by the decaying ruins of a long-abandoned industrial site. Yet, this is the seal to the deepest vertical hole humanity has ever drilled. It's a 6-mile journey towards the center of the Earth that took over 20 years to complete. But the project was suddenly abandoned. The site was deserted, and the hole welded shut, burying a series of discoveries so strange they shattered our understanding of the planet right beneath our feet. For 2 decades, Soviet scientists pushed the limits of engineering, drilling deeper than anyone had gone before. They weren't looking for oil or gold. They were on a quest for pure knowledge. After reaching an incredible 40,230 feet, the project was abruptly terminated. Now, the official story blames impossibly high temperatures and the collapse of the Soviet Union. But the scientific discoveries they made along the way were bizarre. They had drilled into a world they didn't fully understand and uncovered facts that challenged the geology textbooks of the day. To really get the Kola Superdeep Borehole, you have to rewind to the Cold War. While the U.S. and the Soviet Union were in a very public race to the stars, a second, quieter contest was happening, a race to the deep frontier. The Americans kicked it off with Project Mohole in the 1960s, a wild attempt to drill through the ocean floor to reach the Earth's mantle. But after some initial drilling, the project was bogged down by mismanagement and eventually cancelled. The Soviets saw their chance. In a show of technological might, they set out to succeed where the Americans had failed. Their goal was audacious, to drill 15 kilometers, or over 9 miles, straight down into the continental crust. On the 24th of May 1970, on the remote Kola Peninsula, the project began. Using modified oil rigs, they started their descent. This wasn't just a science project, it was a statement. It was the geological space race, a mission to go where no one had gone before, not up, but down. Drilling a hole nearly 7.6 miles deep is a monumental feat of engineering. The sheer torque and stress on the equipment were so immense that the process was painstakingly slow. For over 2 decades, the drill crept downwards. Imagine starting a project as a young scientist, and by the time it was over, your kids would be adults. That was the reality for the team at Kola. They worked in one of the most isolated places on Earth, enduring brutal Arctic winters, all for the sake of science. By 1979, they had officially drilled deeper than any hole before, surpassing the Bertha Rogers hole in Oklahoma. By 1983, they passed the 12,000-meter mark, and the world celebrated. But the Earth doesn't give up its secrets easily. A year later, disaster struck. A huge section of the drill string, 5 kilometers of it, twisted and snapped off, lost forever deep in the hole. Undeterred, they just backed up, started a new branch off the main hole and kept on drilling. For the first few kilometers, things went mostly as geologists expected, but as they got deeper, into rock formations over 2.5 billion years old, their predictions started to fall apart. They were entering a territory where the known rules of geology seemed to bend. The first big shock was related to seismic waves. For decades, geology textbooks taught that a shift in seismic wave velocity at around 7 kilometers deep, known as the Conrad discontinuity, marked a change from granite to much denser basalt rock. But the Kola drill found no basalt. As they drilled past 7 kilometers, and then 8, 9, and 10, it was all just more granite. The rock was physically different, transformed by heat and pressure, but it was still granite. This single finding forced geoscientists to revise their models of the Earth's crust. That seismic boundary wasn't a change in rock type, but a change in the rock's metamorphic state. It was the first of many clues that we knew a lot less about our planet than we thought. The deeper the drill went, the stranger the science became. It was as if they were peering into a hidden primordial Earth. First, there was water. Geologists knew that deep crustal fluids were possible, but they didn't expect to find what they did. Miles below the surface, the rocks were saturated with water. It wasn't flowing in rivers but was trapped in microscopic fractures in the rock. Scientists believe this water came from hydrogen and oxygen atoms released from minerals by the colossal pressure ancient water locked away for billions of years. Then there were signs of past life. At a depth of nearly 7 kilometers, in rocks over 2 billion years old, they discovered the microscopic fossils of single-celled marine organisms. They identified the remains of over 20 distinct species. To be clear, these organisms didn't live there. These were fossils of ancient surface plankton found in sedimentary rock that over billions of years had been buried miles deep. Still, it was a staggering find. But the biggest showstopper was the heat. Their models had predicted a steady temperature increase, maybe reaching 100 or 120 degrees Celsius at their target depth. They were way off. The temperature rose much more rapidly, and by the time they reached their final depth, it was a scorching 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. At that temperature, the rock itself started to behave less like a solid and more like a dense plastic. The hole would begin to slowly ooze closed as soon as it was drilled. The Earth was, in a way, fighting back. With such bizarre and surprising discoveries, it's maybe no wonder that the Kola borehole spawned one of the internet's most famous urban legends, the well to hell. The story, which first appeared in the late 1980s, claimed the scientists had drilled so deep they broke through into a hollow cavity. Intrigued, they supposedly lowered a heat-resistant microphone down the hole and recorded the sounds of tormented screams. This chilling tale spread like wildfire through tabloids and early online forums, often paired with a terrifying audio clip. For many, it was proof that the scientists had opened a gateway to the underworld, which is why they sealed the hole forever. The reality, of course, is much more ordinary. The legend started in a small Finnish Christian newsletter and was later sensationalized. The supposed location was often misreported as Siberia, and the scream recording is widely believed to be a looped and distorted audio clip from the 1972 horror film Barren Blood. The whole story was a hoax, but the fact that it's still around shows just how much awe and mystery this deep hole inspires. By 1989, the main borehole reached its record depth of 12,262 meters. The plan was to push on to 15,000 meters, but it never happened. Drilling officially stopped around 1,992, and the entire site was permanently shut down and left to decay by the mid-2000s. The official reasons are the real ones. First, the extreme heat made further drilling impossible with the technology they had. The rock was simply too hot and plastic-like to get through. Second, the timing was terrible. The Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, and the massive state funding needed for a project this ambitious completely disappeared. With no money and a huge technical problem, the project was doomed. The site was left to rust, and the deepest vertical point on Earth was sealed with a simple metal cap. Today, the Kola Superdeep Borehole is a ghost. The towering derrick is gone. The buildings are in ruins, and only the welded-shut cap remains as a tombstone for one of history's greatest scientific journeys. It's a hole that leads to nowhere. But what a journey it was. We never reached the mantle, but the discoveries along the way were arguably more valuable. We found water where it seemed unlikely, remnants of ancient life buried miles deep, and temperatures that defied all models. There's a popular saying that we know more about distant planets than we do about the ground beneath our feet, and Kola is a humbling reminder of that. It proves that even on our own world, deep, dark mysteries are still waiting to be explored. What do you think was the most surprising discovery from the Kola Superdeep Borehole? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring the world's greatest mysteries, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video.